So in the GT anime, Shu Kurenai didn't actually own Lord Spriggan, so now it's nice to see that Shu Kurenai is back in Super King with World Spriggan Unite Dash 2B. Unite Dash was the first driver on Storm Spriggan, so it's very iconic and nostalgic to bring it back. 2B is free spin, and then it's actually copying Master Devilos's gimmick by being flippable. So this is the back of the box. It also has counterblades as burst stoppers. So with all these new gimmicks, I'm very excited for World Spriggan. With that, let's open this guy up. Okay, please be a rare chassis, and I did not get a rare chassis. That's the layer of World Spriggan. Now we're gonna try and open the driver. This is taking forever. How do you open that? Okay, we have the parts, and as usual, I'm just going to speed through opening it. Let's do the part by part of the World Spriggan parts now. Okay, I'm good, don't make any noise, okay? Okay, starting off, we have the Spriggan chip. And Spriggan is usually very symmetrical. It has the face on the bottom, the gold, and the red. Since Spriggan is actually flippable this time, it has the gold on the right side, representing Spriggan Requiem, and the black on the left side, representing Legend Spriggan. This chip is dual spin. I've never actually owned a dual spin chip before, besides the GT ones, but basically, if you zoom in here, you can actually see that this is in, so this should be right now in right spin, as the R is right there. Now, if you flip it, that's left spin. And then it has this tiny piece of metal here, and this large piece of metal here. And that's all I have to say about the Spriggan chip. It's dual spin. It looks very nice. It has these gem designs as well, blue Spriggan eyes, and it looks a lot like the Legend Spriggan centerpiece. Next is the World Spriggan ring, which is probably the most important and part with the most gimmicks. So first, let's talk about the counterblades. Now, counterblades are not exactly burst stoppers. Burst stoppers were on Chozy Spriggan, where if you launch the bay super hard, sticks come out and it makes the bay impossible to burst, unless you knock them both in, then go to 4 clicks. And Lord Spriggan had these things, but they weren't spring-loaded. Now, I'm not going to get the chassis yet, but basically, if you don't hit the counterblade, World Spriggan will take damage if you hit it hard enough. If you hit the counterblade will go in, stopping the disc from moving, and will then release back, deflecting your attack. So it's kind of like a defense spring-loaded gimmick, like God Valkyrie. So if you hit the counterblade, no damage, and you're deflected. If you don't hit the counterblade, then you do take damage, and the attack is not deflected. Now this is the right spin mode. It looks like Spriggan Requiem. The dragon is actually facing the clockwise spin direction. This is white, but it makes me really frustrated that it is not actually rubber like it was on Requiem and Lord. You flip it, and this is actually the black side, It'll look a lot better with the stickers afterwards, but this is Legend Spriggan's side, the side I like more, and it has black dragon heads facing the clockwise direction. It's more blackish and a lot less whitish and goldish. It's a lot more squarish, too. The right spin side is defensive, more circular. There is still these contact points being a balance type. And then the left spin side is a lot more square. There's a lot more attack points, but overall, it's just very circular being Spriggan. The third piece of World Spriggan is the 2B chassis. So before we actually talk about the color scheme and everything, let's actually talk about the free spinning gimmick. So if we put the Spriggan chip in, so this is in left spin right now, so let's put this in the left spin mode, just because the left spin looks better in my opinion. Okay, putting the left spin in here. Yeah, this is really hard to put the chip actually in here. I'm just going to flip to right spin and put it in right spin instead. Oh, so that's how you do it. You basically just need to push it in, and you don't need to push it in all the way. Okay, so World Spriggan, let's zoom out and push it back just a bit. Okay, so World Spriggan, obviously, and then the layer. So you put it on, right? Now this is the locked thing. Now if you take it off, this actually looks really circular. If you flip it to the next rotation, it becomes free spin. What? That makes no sense. Okay, you flip it in, this is locked, and then if you flip the layer around, which should do that, it becomes free spin. So how this works is, see these little tabs here? They're actually springs that go downwards. And World Spriggan, it has it on left and right. So left side, here is it, the little tabs that go on top of this. And then in right spin, it has them here. If this is on top of this, it doesn't free spin because there's space. But if this isn't on here, then it is not free spinning. Now there are some variations to if the chassis will be free spinning. I know that on Infinite and Mirage plus World, it is free spinning, but anything else besides World, Mirage, and Infinite, it is locked. Another thing I do want to talk about is if you flip it over, there's these little indents here. There's a little indent here. So if you push the disc, this kind of scrapes against the disc, acting like a burst stopper. And this actually is very similar to the dagger frame and bump frame because of the 2 points. It adds more aggression to Spriggan overall. So overall, World Spriggan is looking very nice and very promising. And the color scheme is pretty nice too. Okay, can I see the driver now? Okay. So the final piece is the driver Unite Dash. And personally, I like white. I like the white rubber piece better than the gold, but pairing with World Spriggan, I think the gold looks better just because World Spriggan is more gold overall. A dash driver is basically a gold spring, making the spring harder, making each click tighter and harder to burst. So Unite, it's got a sharp tip in the center, and you basically can take center with it, but if you angle it, the rubber will make contact with the stadium floor and start going around like crazy. Now, right now, the rubber is not taken off at all, so it's going to be very aggressive. But as it wears down more, you'll be able to control it better. So now let's test the teeth. Okay, so first click, that feels pretty tight. Second click, third click, I see. So with the Spriggan chip, it actually has this unique locking mechanism here where there's only one small piece in the middle. So that means the first 3 clicks are a lot tighter, but the 4th click is a lot weaker. So if we burst it again, so that's 1 click, 2 click, 3 click. The 3rd click is a lot tighter, but there's no 4th click. So putting it together and assembling it, I feel like it's going to be unstable because this outer part is so thick and it barely has this tiny thing to grip the stadium and hold it with, but it looks really nice. I don't know what it is. It just feels really heavy. So let's go ahead and weigh the part by part now. Okay. Yeah, that looks really cool. Okay, let me see. Wait, not the whole thing. Okay, so let's take it out apart. Also, one thing I did forget to mention is that the chip, being dual spin, doesn't have a chip core. So the chip should be about 3 grams. That's really not that heavy, actually. Probably just a glitch. This is a kitchen scale, so it's not exactly super accurate or anything. Then the ring is about 9 grams. It should be heavier than 9 grams, because, like, glide is 9 grams. The chassis should be about 46. Oh, 47. So the chassis is actually heavier, but the ring and chip are lighter. Finally, the driver is about 6 grams, pretty normal. So the ring should be about 14 grams or 13 grams if you put it together. 14 grams, yeah, that makes sense. And then the chassis is 47, so if you put it together, it should be maybe 62 or 60. Maybe I'm bad at math. And then overall, the Beyblade is about 67 grams, which is actually heavier than I've seen World Spriggan on some other YouTubers' videos. The average weight is like 66.6 or something, but yeah, this is pretty heavy, especially considering it doesn't have a chip core. Let's do a test spin with the blue launcher now.
Can I launch it?
You can launch it after, is that okay? I need the boxes though. Okay. Okay, so wait, never mind. Okay, and as you can see, there are some boxes around the stadium. So the stadium is Snake Pit Stadium, and it moves around a lot when big bays get really big hits. So I put these boxes around the stadium to stop it from moving. Anyway, let's do the test spin with Shu Kurenai's Superking Bay. Flat launch with a blue launcher first. Okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's not super aggressive or anything, but it's pretty normal. I mean, it moves around pretty normally. It's going towards the center now. Yeah, pretty stable. Let's try, actually, this is free spin mode, okay? Let's try an angled launch with World Spriggan. So angled launch, actually, let's tilt it like this. So with an angled launch, it depends on how you angle it. It could go straight for the center. Now, I want to try something. So if you lean forward and aim towards the center, it should be able to take the center without going around. Nope. So right now, Unite is not awakened at all, meaning that it's always going to move around and it's always not going to take the center immediately, but eventually it will. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with World Spriggan. I don't really like how it copied Master Devilos's flippable gimmick, but it is it's a very cool bay. It looks very nice as well. By the next time we battle it, I'm gonna battle all these bays and stuff after we unbox everything. The first battle will probably be World versus Brave, then Master versus Big Bang Genesis, and so forth. But World Spriggan looking very nice, very promising. And I do have a really big stadium coming, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and peace out.